power.
Or cable.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right,
So that is a good reminder. All right.
Thank you for that. Let's go now to back to Terrebonne Parish. Rob Masson he's been working a long day down in Terrebonne Parish. Let's go back live to him in Cocodrie.
2 hours, the winds are really starting to pick up here in Terrebonne Parish. Feels like they're anywhere from 65 to 70 miles an hour. We are right on the edge of the flood wall that was built down here a couple of years ago. This is the first time that the system is really being tested. This $400 million Morganza to the Gulf flood protection system here, offering a strong measure of protection for much of the Terrebonne Parish going up towards Chauvin and Houma. But there is water up on the other side of the gate. It's not very high. I don't think they're expecting a huge storm surge from this, but we have been talking to some people who thought they were going to wait out the storm on the Cocodrie side, and they decided about an hour and a half ago that it was just too much. The water came up about 3 feet all of a sudden, and this wind really started to pick up after languishing for much of the day today. When we first started, you could see a little bit of rain coming in here. If you look back over the flood wall, you could see some water maybe splashing up from Bayou Little Caillou, going across the roadway there, the closed portion of Highway 56 below Chauvin, going down to Cocodrie. But for the most part, there is no traffic down here other than Terrebonne Sheriff's deputies, who are now enforcing a mandatory 10 p.m. curfew, and they are not letting anybody else go down there below that floodgate tonight for good reason. Tropical Storm Barry is lurking off in Terrebonne Bay that way, setting its sights on New Iberia right now, but it's been a very strange storm, mostly dry here on the north side of the storm for much of the day, but now getting a little bit more wet. And of course, the backside of that storm portends to bring a whole lot more rain into this area. There is several reports of power outages here in Terrebonne Parish, several hundred people without power. Well, we've seen some pictures of trees falling down. A friend of mine sent me a picture a little while ago of one falling down, knocking down some power lines in the Chauvin area and further up into Houma. There is an evacuation center open at the Municipal Auditorium, and several people said they were going to try and take advantage of that. But other than that, maybe 90% of the people down here below Houma have taken advantage of the voluntary evacuation order, but a lot of people are staying. And of course, this area has some fairly strong memories of Hurricane Andrew back in the early 90s that went in much the same path, created some flooding in this area. But this flood wall is expected to save a lot of this area from being flooded. Again, the winds feel 50-ish, 60-ish right now, sometimes trying to knock us over, but we are on the good side of this wall. We were up there on top of the wall a little while ago, and it was really just too difficult. And again, the sheriff's deputies, as you see, are not letting anybody go by there anyway at this point. We were talking to some sheriff's deputies a while ago. They're not aware of anybody being injured yet. That's good news, but they are advising everybody to stay off the road because we're under some, not too far from some utility lines right now. They are really taking a beating right now, and of course, when we see storms like this, generally a lot of power lines go down, and of course that knocks out power for the area and creates some dangerous driving conditions. But that's the story from Cocodrie right now. Tropical Storm Barry really starting to kick up, as you can see behind us, and folks are being advised to stay off the road, and we might be